So hey Mark, we're here at Namm again, and we're going to look at your new delay line, right?
Correct.
So this is the first digital module for you, right?
Yes. The multi-delay processor is an 8-tap digital delay with voltage control of the delay, and the delays, all of the 8 of them are the same time. It's one universal control for all of them, and then each of the individual taps has its own output and an envelope follower, so that any of them can be fed to different places, fed back, and also the envelope followers, we find that to be quite nice for controlling very CV hungry modules like the bark filter or the harmonic oscillator. Also, the taps can be mixed to the manual mix output from the sliders on the front, and there are 4 preset mixes up here that are all of the odd taps at full volume, all of the even taps at full volume, and one that as the longer the longer delays happen, they get louder, or the reverse where it gets quieter. And then the last tap 8, is internally patched through DSP that creates an octave up pitch effect and a reverb effect that are normal to 2 of the inputs. So if nothing is patched into these, then this pitch and reverb effect can be introduced, which allows with the reverb allows an algorithm similar to the Ursa Major space station from the early 80s, and also allows some what we call shimmer reverb effects or fantasy type ambiances that are quite interesting for ambient drones and spatial soundtrack type sounds. So maybe
this is kind of, I suppose this is kind of the first digital thing, but it's also the first kind of effects unit that you've made, right?
And
so, is that felt like from, because obviously you use the system out live, is that something that you felt like was kind of needed in your system, or
yes,
or you wanted?
Yes, but in a lot of cases I think that effects are a separate thing that should be added at a mixing stage or externally. In fact, I'm a recording engineer, so historically this is a battle with guitar players who have a bunch of pedals, and the engineer says, no, leave your reverb and delays off and I'll add that. And sometimes if the player finds that it's part of its sound, like the delays are rhythmically involved in the parts or something, you can't take those effects away. So I think in this context, this module is something like that, where within the patch, it's interplaying with the patch itself, or it's becoming part of the sound rather than being some
like a set and forget
something that you put at the end just to like polish it up somehow. So that's important. I mean, given the fact that there are CV ins and outs as part of it, it becomes interactive in the patch. And there was a vintage design that Don Buchla did that was 8 taps in this configuration that he never took into production, and I had worked with the design, developing it a bit more to make it something that would work. But the converter design that was used in there was really ancient and had a terrible signal to noise ratio, something in the 50s of dB, which is horrible. So I put a lot of time into developing a converter technique that would actually give enough dynamic range to have a usable situation, particularly with 8 of them happening in parallel. It can get quite noisy. But this one is the individual converters are up around 100 dB signal to noise ratio. So it's no longer an issue to put this onto a sound and completely abandon all ability to go to silence because it's so drowning in noise.
So when are you hoping to have it out, or is it ready to go? Or
this is ready to go, but we haven't gone into production, so we're looking at probably about a month.
And what sort of price point are we looking at?
We're not official on that. We're hoping around 500 euros.
And was it quite important, because obviously it's digital, but it doesn't look digital in that it doesn't have any screens or menu diagrams?
Yeah, that's
like that.
really important to me in my design process. I don't like to have anything hidden. I don't like to have any menu diving, and also it shouldn't feel like digital. I mean, it's not that I personally have an attachment analog versus digital. It's more about interface. I've always pushed for interface design where you can reach out and touch all the parameters and interact with it actively so that it can be a living thing in a package.
Cool, let's play out with some more sounds.
Okay.